Hey y'all, it's Katrina with Faith and Loops Crochet. I'm here to go over my second market vlog. Let me tell you, this market was awesome. I didn't think it was going to be a great market, but it did end up being awesome. I had a 6-foot table, and that was it. So I didn't even bring all of my inventory. So my mother-in-law and her mom had a booth there, and they had some extra room. So they decided to invite me. So this was just kind of like a pop-up market for me. It was one that I was invited to, but I didn't know if I was going to go to or not. I'm so glad I did. Let me tell you, I sold better than I have in almost all year long. If not mistaken, this is probably my best market yet. So with that being said, I want to tell you a little bit about the setup. So because I was sharing a booth with my mother-in-law, and one of her good friends was on the other side, and they had bought 3 booths. So this market was a little bit different because like in between the booths that they actually had like 3 foot of walkway for in between each booth, which is something I've personally never experienced before. I'm not sure if you all have or not, but I've never had. It's always been back to back, so or side by side, no walkway. And if you did want a walkway, you had to take it out of your booth space. So not only did we have the 3 spots, but we also had the 3 pathways for the customers to walk through included in that space. So we had a pretty big space. So because we were all together, we all had separate items. I'll go over that in just a second. I was able to tuck myself back and make sure that there was walkway because the lady that was next to me, she had the reefs. So she had the big tall towers. So she needed for them to be able to walk through and see the back of them. And then my mother-in-law and her mom had a table that was in front. So you had the reefs right here in the table, one 6-foot table that was out in front next to the pathway. And then I was tucked back behind them against the wall. So the setup worked really good as far as flow. So all the customers could get to everybody's product. So I honestly thought once I got there and I got set up, I'm like, I'm not going to do so good. I'm literally tucked up against the wall. And whenever you're walking down the aisle, I wasn't up front and center. So I didn't think I was going to do very good. Let me tell you, I was wrong. So not only on top of that, I was back next to the wall and I wasn't out front. There were several other crochet people there. Some of them, that was all they had. Some of them just had like a bucket on the table of crochet. So I was like, this wasn't something that I was planning on doing. So if I don't do very good, that's fine. I get to, socialize and have time with the family. So I thought that it would all work out anyways, even if I didn't sell anything, because this wasn't a market that I hadn't planned, that I had planned out anyways. Well, so like I said, I only took, I'd say I had 3 full bags of plushies, and I only took 2 because I only had a 6-foot table, had a few stocks underneath the table, but that was it. I sold 28% of my overall inventory, and that's a lot. So I'm going to go over like what I sold, and I tell you what, I sold out of most of my like one and done items. I sold out of them. So my big ticket items, a lot of them are gone. So my Christmas market coming up, I am going to have to crunch and do a lot. But with that being said, I know that you're all interested in seeing what exactly sold, so we're going to go ahead and go over that. So, I think you all have seen these before, my little mini chicks. Now, my mini chicks I do 3 different ways. I have my mini chicks, and then I have my mini mallards, and then I have my mini eagles. Now, my mini chicks, I actually sold one of these, and I have 5 left, but this is the one that I have left. And then I sold one of my eagles. And my eagles, they sell, normally they don't sell great, but they do sell. So I did sell one of these. And then I had, I had 3 mallards. I sold all of the mallards. Mallards were a big ticket item this time. So the mallards are the same pattern. I add a roll in, and then I put the green on top. That's exactly like the eagle. I just add the green on top. I sold out of all of those. So I also have another mallard pattern I use, and it's this one right here. The little beak. I do change the beak from the pattern. I'm not sure who the pattern designer is, but I'll let you know in the Google Doc below. I had 4 of these, and I sold 3 of them. So this is the only one I have left. And I had 2 of my flamingos. I sold one of those. I had, had 2 of my pigs. Little piggies. I sell these for $8, obviously, because the tag's on top. And I had 2 of these, and I sold one of those. Now, the famous Oak and Marlow chickens. Now, these sometimes sell well for me, and sometimes they don't. It just kind of depends on the market. But this one right here, in this size, I had 5 of them, and I sold 2 of those. One of them was my daughter's, which is awesome. But I'll tell you a little bit about what she made, how much money she made later. But I sold 2 of these, and then I sold one of the small ones of them, the real tiny ones. I sold one of those as well. Some of these I don't have examples of because I sold out of them. So let's see here. So we have the Madeline Mako chicken. I sold out of it. I had one and sold one. And my small cows, which is this pattern right here. This one right here, I've sold out of this at market before. And I raised the price up $2. And since I've raised the price up $2, they're not selling. So I'm seriously thinking about debating bringing it down another $2 and see if they go again. Because they are pretty quick and easy to make. And I think they're adorable. And everybody around here in Kentucky loves cows. So I think I'm going to actually drop the price on these and see if they move a little bit better. But I did sell 2 of these. My big booty frogs, I've showed them in past videos. I had 4 of those at market, and I sold all 4 of them, which was pretty awesome. I had a Crochet Grove pig. It was her muddy pig that sat down. I had one and sold one of those. I had this little old lady. She came up and she was like, "Can I see that pig?" She was in a one of those scooters. So I got it down, looked at it, and she looked it over, and she's like, "Well, I might come back and get it." So about, I don't know, probably about an hour and a half later, I guess after she had looked over the entire market, she came back, and bless her heart, it had already sold. It was the only one I had. I hated that don't get me wrong, I'm glad that it sold, but I'm kind of disappointed it didn't go to her. But, you only can make what you can make, and you only have what you have. Okay, my mushy crushes with the pop top. I had 4 of these, and I sold 2 of them. These are a conversation piece for me. Like, they'll be looking over the mushrooms. I'm like, "Look at this one. It pops." And they're like, "Oh." But sometimes it sells really well for me. Sometimes it doesn't. But I sold half of what I brought. So pretty tickled with that. So my jelly pops that I have, all sold out of those. So I don't have any to show you right now. But I did have my little mini loaf cats. Which this right here, this pattern is a mixture of a couple of free patterns that I found on Instagram. So I can't pinpoint you to the exact designer. I changed the ears, and I think I added a roll and got a tail from the other one. So it's not one I can point you to. But these are like little bitty Loaf kitties. And I actually brought 7 of these to market and sold 4 of them. It was so funny because this little boy came up and he took a long time and he finally picked out what he wanted. And then the mom came back and he said, "I'm sorry, but can we exchange this? Because he said he wanted one with 4 feet." And I was like, "What?" What he had done is he had pushed in the foot. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but can you see how like it doesn't have a third leg? So I was like, and I went, and they were like, "Oh, wow." So I'm pretty sure that the little mini Loaf cat not only is a mini Loaf cat, but now it's a fidget toy too. So, hey, he was happy with it. I was happy with it too. So he's probably just pushed them in, popping them back out all the time now. So like I said, I had 7 of those and I sold 4. My little small turtles. Now, this was my number 1 seller. I sold out of all of them. And when I say all of them, I had 9 at this market and I sold out of all 9 of them. So I was just like tickled to death. I never sold out of the mini turtles. They're fun to make. So I was pretty excited about that. Now I do have one as an example. This one right here, because I've been market prepping a whole bunch. And as you can tell, some of them are whips because this one doesn't have eyes. I find that a lot of the little bitty ones, they want the turtles, but they don't have the safety eyes. So I decided that I'm going to put some safety eyes on these. So like I said, I'm in the middle of market prep. So this is a whip. It will have eyes when it goes to market. So I also sold 2. I had 2 large turtles like this one right here. And I sold both of them. And they did have the baby safe embroidered eyes. This one will too whenever I have it done. I have a pile of whips. Let me tell you, this is just one of them, of many. So this one, both of those had embroidered eyes, and this one will too. But this is the Rose and Lily pattern that I change up a little bit. And I, instead of... well, yeah, it's a free pattern, so I can tell you. So, she has you skip stitches and leave an opening to go back and sew it in. I just go ahead and crochet it in. And they're a little bit floppy, and you can hug it. So, I just crochet the flippers in. So, I sewed 2 of those, and they both had the embroidered eyes. I had 4 of the small size turtles, which is the same pattern. It's just the smaller version of that pattern. This one right here, I had 4 of these, and I sold 4 of them I sold 1 of them, so I still have 3 of them left. Let's see here, where am I at? Okay. Now my axolotls, they come and go. They don't sell well for me, but I always have them at market. I had 5 of these little ones right here. And out of these little ones, I sold 3 of them this time, which was one of the best that I've had as far as selling axolotls. They all wanted the little ones. I did sell one of my large size ones, but that was it. I did have quite a few of them. I had 5 of those little axolotls, and I sold 3 of them. And I had 6 of the big ones, and I sold 1. So, my keychains. I went over my keychains. I give a variety of keychains. I do sell them for $5. I had 41 of them. I just threw them in a basket because I didn't have room on my table. So I just threw them in a basket, and they didn't sell as well as they normally do. And I think that's because I didn't have the keychain display, and they couldn't see them, so they had to dig around. I don't think that worked out, and I didn't. I had a 6-foot table, so I didn't have a whole lot of room. So, I mean, I did the best I could with the 6-foot table, but I think it did hurt the keychain sales because I had no way to hang them up. So I only sold 6 of those this time. I think 6. Let me look. I think I might have written down a number because I didn't think I sold that many. Well, I did. I sold 6. So they were one of my cheapest items on the table. So when people were kind of looking, I did direct them towards them. So okay, did it fall? Oh, it's right in front of my face. Yeah, it's literally right here. All right, so my possums. I have 2 sizes of this pattern. I have one that's done in the regular Sweet Snuggles, and then I have the little ones that are smaller than this, just done in Sweet Snuggles Light. I had 2 of the medium, I call them medium-sized possums. I had 2 of these, and I sold one of them. I had 4 of the smaller version of this, and I sold all 4. So I sold out of those. Let's see. My Stingray. My little Stingrays. If I'm not mistaken, this is by Teresa's Crochet Shop. I had 2 of these, and I sold one of those. We had 2 snakes, and we sold both of those. I had 1 skunk and sold it. Now, this is going to be a list because I don't have examples because a lot of them sold out. I had the large monkey from Madeline Mako, her pattern. I sold that one. I only had 1. I sold 1. I had a sunflower turtle, which was the rose and lily pattern that I just added the petals onto it. I sold it. I had a crocheted grove cow, and I sold that as well. Now, I know like Anchor the Octopus was a big hit, and everybody's done one. I made the smaller version in Sweet Snuggles Light, and I finally sold it. It was a lady that came, and she bought 5 of my large items. She's like, I'm just knocking out Christmas right now and getting everybody. And I was like, I'm fine with that. That's fine. And she just went through and picked them all out, and she's one of the ones that got my anchor. I like the smaller anchor. It's a lot quicker to work up, and but I'm not sure that the price point would move very fast because I did charge a little bit higher than I do a lot of my other items because it does take some time, but it doesn't nearly take as long as the large anchor, which I know some people say that it took them 8 hours to do the large octopus. It took me almost 10. I don't work with Burnett blanket very often, so I think for me it took a little bit longer because it was Burnett blanket, and it's not as smooth as Sweet Snuggles Light, which is what I typically use. So I don't know if that slowed me down or if it was just getting the pattern down. It did take a long time, but this one right here did work up quicker, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make another one or not of those. We'll see. So I had the little bitty baby octopuses that I found. They're teeny tiny, and I don't have one as an example. I wish I had a picture to show you. Maybe I'll show it in one of my next videos because it's teeny tiny. I'm probably going to make more of them, so I'll show you. I had 2 of those, and I sold both of those. And the Angry Bananas, these are one of my favorite items that I make, and I just don't understand why I haven't sold out of these yet. But I had 3 of these, and I sold 1. And then my spiders were a pretty big hit too. So I have one in front of me. Just give me a second. Oh, there it is. Okay. So my spiders. Okay. I had 7 of these. And I was like, I'm going to take them because it was after Halloween. And I was like, hopefully they'll sell. I sold 6 of them out of 7. I had 1 left. So this is one of them that I've actually been prepping. I actually got all my spiders done. That's one of the items that I actually have completely done and prepped. So that's awesome. I had I had 4 of my small chicken nuggets, and I sold 2 of those. My hot dogs that I talked about in my last video, yet again, they were attention getter. Just like not as much as the chicken nuggets, but the hot dogs, almost every person that walked up to the booth went for the hot dogs, picked them up, looked them over. But this time, I sold out of them. I had 3 and sold all 3. So that's on my market prep list. All right, and let's see here. Leggy Frogs. Good old Leggy Frogs. Now, my Leggy Frogs, I had, my Leggy Frogs, sorry, I thought I had it written down, but I didn't. Okay, my Leggy Frogs, I had 4 of them, and I sold 1. So I still have three of them left, right? Yeah, 3 of them left. Okay, and let's see, last but not least, one of my favorites is the emotional support pickle. These typically sell decent for me. Not great, but decent. I had 7 of these, and I sold 2 of them. So, my grand total is, out of my 6-foot table that I sold 28% of my inventory, and I sold 82 items. Didn't expect that at all. Originally, before I had this market, my count after my last market, I think I had like around 300 items altogether. I did make a couple, and I did sell some for custom orders and stuff in between there. So I don't know my exact number because the markets were so close together. But I sold 82 items. It ended up being almost a third of my inventory, like 5% away from being a third of my inventory. So I have a market coming up December the 14th, and I'm going to have to prep a whole lot. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be a decent market. It's literally right before Christmas. And I know if they're anything like shopping like my husband does, people wait until the last minute. So, and then hopefully they'll see stuff and they'll get it. But I've never done a market this time of year because I'm new to the game. So I don't know what to expect. But I do know that I have a lot of market prep to do. On top of that, I have quite a few custom Christmas orders that have to be done before Christmas. So I'm like trying to balance out the custom orders with the market prep. Let's just say I've been busy. Like I said, my whip pile's getting pretty high, so I'm going to have to be finishing some of that up. So, I think that's all I got for y'all today. I thank you so much for tuning in and joining in. And I know I didn't go over a lot of the pattern designers just because I knew it was kind of going to be a long video with everything I had to go over. But if you would, just ask. I'll try to link some of them in the Google Doc below. And if it's not listed there, then just comment, give me a shout out, and I'll direct you towards the pattern designer. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless.